Hi guys, Chef Jessica here with a Marketing Monday. And if you could just excuse the background noise, it's early in the morning here and my dog is barking, the crows are really loud, so sorry about that. I will try to talk over them, but we have some really important things to talk about today and I don't have a lot of time, so it's going to be fast but packed full of information. We are going to be talking today about getting clients. I know that a lot of you, you just want clients, and you may have lost a client and you need to fill that hole, or you're just starting out and you don't have enough clients. And so I know that's scary AF, believe me. I've been there. I've been doing this for 20 years plus, so I know exactly how it feels when you don't have enough clients, and it can feel like you have a wave of panic, depression, frustration, confusion, overwhelm. So the first thing is to try not to get caught up in those emotions because they're not necessarily helpful. It's really good to kind of assess the situation and take action, but you need to take strategic action and inspired action. Don't just be impulsive and do everything. So you really want to be targeted. Now, I talked last week about having a website, and having a website is really important because it allows you to generate leads even when you're busy. And so, like, if you have a website, you definitely want to have a contact form on your website, and so people can reach out to you. And that way, if you're doing events or you're doing a demo, then you can direct people to your website. There is another reason why I love having a website, and I'm not using this method right now, but for many, many years, I used Google AdWords advertising. And I think it was a really great way to find clients because think about it. Google AdWords is basically when people type a phrase or a search word into the search engine, and you'll see obviously come up and it'll say ad. I'm sure you guys have all used Google and you've seen something that says ad next to it, and that is Google AdWords. Now, a lot of businesses are very competitive. Like if you were to be if you were to put catering, your Google AdWords spend would probably be a lot higher than personal chefs. There are not a lot of personal chefs who use Google AdWords. So I found that for many, many, many years, I was able to generate a lot of leads through Google AdWords. Now, I was not finding as many retainer clients, and really that is where you want to head in that direction. But eventually you can, kind of get people who are not retainer clients into a retainer, or it allows you to kind of have that buffer. But for one-time events or gift certificates or things like that, and I did find some retainer clients, but a lot of retainer clients, I'll get to that in a second, are found through different ways. Google AdWords it's not that difficult to do. There are people who can help you, and I can hook you up with those people if you need it. But you use search phrases like how to find a personal chef in San Diego, healthy personal chef, whatever it is your niche is, that's what you want to use as the search engine. Now, if you do use Google AdWords, it takes a little bit of time to get going. It's not like an immediate thing. So this is one of the reasons why getting your clients on a retainer is so important. It gives you time to look for new clients or generate new clients if one of your clients is going to stop. If you have your clients on a retainer, you're going to know ahead of time if they're stopping service because they are committed to you and you are communicating with them. This is one reason why it's so important to communicate with your clients, that you want them to, purchase in sets of 4 or purchase on a retainer basis. You're asking for a commitment, and that is not a bad thing. As I've said before, it benefits them just like it benefits you. So you want to get them on a commitment, and that way you will know ahead of time if they are going to take a pause or if they're not going to be using your services anymore. It is so important to have that bit of time. Otherwise, you're just going to be in a constant state of scrambling. So Google AdWords is the first way, and obviously you need a website to direct people to. So that's what I talked about last week. Having a website is so important. I'm going to put my source for my website in the group, and she is, like I said, she has a partner who is a chef, so she's very chef oriented and she does beautiful work. Another way that you can generate clients very quickly is through local press. Now, a press release is one way to do this, and it's very effective because it's written by you, so it tells a story the way that you want to tell it, and you pitch it to local publications. This works so incredibly well. If you look at the social media influencers, that's how they get popular, is through local press. And then by local press, then, you know, they get sponsored by bigger companies. But local press is one of the most effective ways to get clients, and it works better than almost anything else because it builds trust in your brand, and it just has this really large exposure, and it is forever and ever. So you always will have that to fall back on as far as, you know, building trust in your business. You put the article on your website, or it's just on the web. I don't necessarily have all the articles on my website, although maybe I should. But you put it on your website, or it's on the web, and people will always find that. So if somebody were to search my name, my website might not even be the first thing that comes up. A lot of times the local press will be what comes up. So writing a press release is a really important way to get clients, and it's free. So you don't have to spend any money. Google AdWords, you do have to spend money, and you know, it takes a little bit of time to get started. So, but it does pay back, especially if you want to do in-home catering and things like that. You can really kind of generate your income back. So your return on investment is usually pretty good with Google AdWords. But as a press release, you really can generate, the sky's the limit. When my press releases would be published, I would get calls that same day, or, you know, pretty much through the following week, with people interested in my services. Another thing you can do with local press is pitch the news stations. So the morning news in the morning is such a great way for chefs to be featured. You know, say that you want to come in and do a healthy recipe, you want to talk about your services, and they love it. They eat that stuff up. So press is a huge thing. If you haven't tried that, you definitely should try it, and just reach out to me if you have questions. Another thing you want to think about is you want to think about where are the clients that you want to work with, where do they live, what is their zip code, and target that zip code with visibility. So if, for example, we have a really wealthy zip code over here, if I'm going to need clients, I am going to be in that zip code, whether it's sometimes they have a clubhouse for communities that you can go in and do a healthy cooking demo or talk about your services. Occasionally they'll let you drop materials off. You want to be featured in that community as the local chef, but it's really important for you to target that area and be visible. You must stand out from other chefs to get the clients you want to get. So what about your service is different, and what makes you special? When I first started out, I wasn't necessarily known as healthy or special diets, but what I did was my menu had appetizers, it had salads, it had entrees, it had desserts, and it had so many different offerings. A lot of chefs, they only offer on their menus the meals that they do as a personal chef. Now, most of the time people didn't order an appetizer for me as a personal chef, but if they really were into that type of food, that would attract them to me, and that would really make me stand out among other chefs. I also was very much a responder, so I responded to anyone who gave me an inquiry, and I really reached out to as many people as I could. So I know that it sounds easy to it sounds better to just be on social media and be posting, but really getting out there face to face is a way to have people really remember your services. So Google AdWords, media, local press, being visible, and targeting the high-end areas is really what you want to focus on. I would love to hear how you guys get clients when you really need them. So let me know in the comments, and hope you have a great day, and I hope this helps.